Okay, I think we're recording now. So, good evening, everyone. This is our December leadership meeting. I'm going to go over quite a few things today, so I wanted to get started as soon as possible. We are recording this, so if you're watching this later on in another month, because I'm going to be covering a good amount of information, we'll probably be sharing this video with people that show an interest in just getting started and sharing, whether it's product sharing casually or really wanting to supplement or even replace your income. These are the beginning steps we're going to talk about today. But I also have to cover what's going on in December. So sorry if you're watching this later on. I didn't want people who weren't able to make it to this meeting to miss out on this part. So December promos, we have till the 15th, right? So a couple more days for your people to get in touch with them and let them know to get their LRP orders. They get the Holiday Joy blend, which is a really, really yummy blend for the holidays, and a cute little snowman cover thingy for the oil. If they do 200 all month, they will also get a free frankincense. So make sure that your people know the benefits of frankincense. Make sure that they understand the quality that we have with doTERRA, all of the medicinal properties that they're getting, the savings that they're getting. This is a month where people are shopping, they're spending more, they're Christmas shopping. So make sure that people know that if they decide to maybe give the gift of health, they can get a free frankincense, and that they understand what that really means. We had a big month last month. We enrolled 114 people on our team. So that means that this month you have a lot of follow-up to do, right? Because in doTERRA, it's not just about enrolling, it's about making sure that your new customers know how to use their oils and understand that this is a lifestyle. So make sure you reach out to them. In December 15th, they also are going to get the 50 points that they were awarded last month, right? When they enrolled, they got 50 points. So make sure that you're doing your member overviews. If you are new to doTERRA and sharing and things like that, and you don't know what a member overview is, we're going to briefly go over that today, but we'll do an in-depth video on that later because there's so much to cover. But make sure you get with your enroller and whoever is closest up to you that's actually doing this as a business, so you can learn what a member overview is. And if you don't feel equipped to give that to your new person, let the person that enrolled help you do that. It's super important. You probably got one when you enrolled, and so you know that if you just enrolled and got your oils and kind of were just left floating around, you probably wouldn't be using the oils the way you are today, right? So the reason that you love these oils and that you understand the lifestyle is because someone took the time to take you through that process. So it's our responsibility to do that with the people we bring into doTERRA, even if we're not business builders. Okay. Always remember that if you take the enrollment, you're there to support that person. And if you're not able or willing to do that, you should really then give that responsibility to the person that is doing this as a business. Okay. A couple other announcements. For the next couple months, I will also be sharing a little bit more about a new, well, it's probably not new, but it's new to me because I just got the certification in Symphony of Cells. So I'm really excited to start teaching about Symphony of Cells, and it's going to be a class that's geared more towards people already in doTERRA, people already using the oils and getting onto the vitamins and things like that, so that they could really amplify the healing benefits that they're receiving. Now, I'm not saying new people can't come to a Symphony of Cells class. New people are always welcome to any of our classes, but there's going to be some more requirements, because with the Symphony of Cells, you're going to be using some of the oils. So for my class, and I'm still kind of figuring out how I'm going to do it, I'm most likely going to still do an online form of this class. I don't know if I'll do it at the same time I'm doing the in-person one, because it's a little bit more in depth than like a regular class. So what's going to be required is that anyone that wants to take this class be on our team, be on LRP, and be on, and this is per the guy that developed this program called Boyd Truman, Lifelong Vitality, Terrazyme, and a citrus oil. So that's going to be what's required to participate in this class, whether I do it online or in person. But I'm excited to teach it soon. I've been working on the PowerPoint all day, and I'm like maybe halfway through. So it's a really in-depth class, but I think it's going to be instrumental in really giving people some real results, right? And that's what we want. So anything we can do to enhance what we're doing with education and getting people to really feel what benefits they can get with doTERRA, I think Symphony of Cells is going to be a game changer for our team. The other thing that I'm doing now is also the Aroma Touch certification. So been putting it out there. I have a class in January 5th. I'm doing a Spanish one. January 5th and January 20th an English one. Those are the two I have scheduled for January in Orlando. I am more than willing to travel to you anywhere in the country that want to host me to come and certify your team or your prospects. You do not have to be in doTERRA to get certified. I have certified massage therapists that want to add this to their practice and weren't even in doTERRA yet. So you do not have to be in doTERRA. But obviously by the time they're done with this certification, they're going to be, right? Especially if I'm teaching it. So if you want me to come to you, I just need a commitment and pre-registration of 8 to 10 people. And because it has to cover, travel and things like that. The cost of the certification is $149, and it includes your oils. So you're getting all 8 oils to give this technique, the Aroma Touch technique. So keep that in mind. If you're interested, private message me. And if you want to come to Orlando, there is still space for both classes. I maxed them out at 12 people because I feel like I want to keep the classes smaller and more intimate so I can really see and supervise and make sure that everyone's learning the technique properly. Okay, so now that we're done with that, just wanted to make sure that I went over some of the new things coming up because I'm really thinking it's going to help us all. With our business, with our wellness, in every way. Recently, I've been getting very similar questions from people that have a desire to build doTERRA or to share doTERRA casually or build it, have in part-time and what have you. So I decided to have this call to help people and give them tools to get started. Because I've been hearing that quite a few of you have reached out to people to share the oils and you're getting no, or you're getting I'm not interested, or yeah, okay, and then nothing comes of it. And so a lot of you are feeling frustrated and coming to me and like asking me things like, well, how do you get somebody to listen to you about the oils? Or how do you get them to a class? Or how do you get them to meet with you? Or I met with this person and, taught them about the oils and told them to get on my website and join, and they haven't yet, and I don't know how to get them to join, and I'm frustrated and I don't know what to do, that kind of thing. Or I don't know what to say once I have them in front of me, right? Now you got them there, they're ready to hear you talk about the oils, and you're like, uh-oh, where do I start? Where do I begin, right? And so for those of you who are newer, what I've done is I've put together a few scripts. Okay, and I feel like using these scripts is going to help you because it takes time. Those of you who have seen me teach or have seen Rodney teach or anybody, or Natalie even, who's I know on the call, and some of my leaders who've been around a while, and you watch us teach, sometimes it can be a little intimidating because you think we're up there and like we're just going on and on and on about this stuff, and like you're never going to know what we know and teach how we teach. And so I totally understand that it can be intimidating. Let me assure you and encourage you that none of us ever taught that way when we started. I remember when I would go to classes with Rodney when he was first getting started, and he would practically begged me to teach the class for him. And I had to say, no, Rodney, like you're getting out there and you're going to teach this class. And Rodney had a background in health. Rodney went to school for holistic nutrition. Like he knew health like the back of his hand, and it still it's challenging because number one, public speaking is like one of the biggest fears people have, right, ever. And so I totally get that. If you watch Rodney teach today, you think he's been doing it, his whole life. It just takes practice, and it takes getting out there and starting somewhere. And so having a script is really powerful because you have this paper and you could just sit there and read it. And that's all you have to do. And I promise you that that's all you have to do, literally. You don't have to know it. You don't have to have it memorized. We're going to use these scripts, and you're going to use them to, when we share in doTERRA, we have an acronym for it, and it's called PIPES. And what PIPES stands for is prepare, invite, present, enroll, and support. So we're going to talk about the prepare, the invite, and the present, okay? And even the enroll a little bit. And we're going to do that, and we're going to use scripts from now on, in those of you who are starting out and just beginning, and it's going to really help you with a big part of those pieces because you have the advantage of being new, okay? The things and the verbiage I'm going to give you today to use with your friends and family and the people that you come across that you're going to decide to share with, I can't use anymore. Rodney probably can't. Natalie can't, because we're not new. So we can't use this verbiage. But for you guys, it's perfect. And it works. It works. I wish Taina was on this call because maybe she'll be on before we're done, because she has a really powerful story about this verbiage that we're going to use. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is preparing. Okay, that's number one. When you are deciding to share doTERRA, we're going to call sharers from now on. I heard this from a presidential upline today, and I totally loved it. You have product partners, product sharer partners, and you have business partners. They're very different. Product partners are people that love sharing the products casually every now and then when it comes up. They love it. Maybe in the back of their mind, someday they think, well, maybe I could do this like more as a business. But right now I got the kids, I got my full-time job. I just love sharing the oils. Those are product sharers. Business builders are completely different. Business builders have a set amount of time that you're spending on your doTERRA business every week. And it doesn't mean that you're spending the hours that Rodney and me are spending, or Natalie or whoever else is doing this more consistently. But you've carved out time that's just for doTERRA. If you're not doing that, you're a product sharer. And that is totally okay. That's totally okay. That's where you are in the journey. I would say at least 5 to 10 hours a week of committed time to doTERRA could you consider yourself a business partner. 5 hours a week means a little bit less than an hour a day of piping. So that means it's not playing on Facebook and posting, things about oils. That's not building a business. Building a business is the activities of the pipes. So you're doing pipes 5 to 10 hours per week, one class at minimum, or let's say class or one-on-one, let's say. If it's one-on-one, it has to be more than one, right? Because it's one person. A lot of you brand new may not be ready to teach a class yet. Totally okay. Totally okay. You can start one-on-one with people. It's going to take a little bit longer because it's one person at a time. But if you can meet with, let's say, 10 people a month, that's a low number. That's for those of you doing it part-time. 10 people a month. There's 31 days in a month. If you can meet with 10 people a month, one-on-one, you will get practice and you will start enrolling. Okay? Now, with preparing, that's a very important piece to this. Because some of the things I see with people who decide they want to do this business and they want to, you see up there, I got my chart there with all the amazing income we make in doTERRA as silvers and golds and diamonds. It's like, oh my God, their eyes just start, dollar signs come popping out of their eyes, right? They want this business, but they don't even know like what lifelong vitality does in the body, or like that you can drink lavender oil. So it's so important that if you want this business, that you stay in the preparation phase and you really truly fall in love with these oils as a lifestyle, and that you've found the value in replacing $50 to $100 a month in product. I've heard people complain that they have to spend $100 a month. It's too much money to spend for, to make money doing this business. It's really not, number one. If it's a business, if you had a legit business out there where you had like a brick and mortar shop, you'd be spending way more than $100 a month to make any money. So if that's a concern, right off the bat, you're just not ready to be a business builder, and that is okay. You'll be a product sharer. And in being a product sharer, why would you want to share a product that you're not using every day? And if you're using it every day, you're going to need something every month. As a product sharer and getting your LRP points, 50 points a month is about what you need. Now, if you start enrolling people, you're not going to make income unless you do 100. So at that point, you have to make that decision. But the first step is that you need to understand the value of this lifestyle for yourself. And I know that everyone complaining about spending 50, 100, or whatever it is a month is also buying cleaning products somewhere, deodorant somewhere, shampoo somewhere, right? Vitamins, hopefully. So if they're already buying these products and they haven't yet seen the value in switching them over to a natural product that we have and getting paid to shop with us because we get free points so that you don't get at Target and Walmart or wherever else they shop, it just shows me a disconnect. There's a disconnect there that they're just not ready to share because you can't share what you don't believe in. And if you don't invest in your own health, whatever that is, and I get that we're all at different budgets and different financial situations, but if you don't have something to invest in yourself, you're not going to translate that to somebody else. That's just keeping it real. And I'm bringing this up because it comes up over and over again, that people keep talking about sharing the business, but they're not even using lavender at night, or they're not using oils in their water, or they're not doing anything with the oils. You're not going to become a sharer or a builder when you don't believe in what you're trying to share. And if you're not using it, you don't believe in it. Sorry, that's the reality. So preparing is using the oils. So one of the things that is going to be changing for 2019 is that those of you who are product sharers, I'm super excited to be offering a Q&A call. That may be a once a month call. That may be a twice a month call. It may be a weekly call. It all depends on how many questions are coming in. Some of the questions I may just, post answers to in our Facebook page. My goal with this is a couple things. One of them is I want to create more of a community in our pages and more interaction there. I get a ton of private message questions all day long, text messaging, Facebook, all over the place. I'm sure Rodney does. I'm sure Natalie does. I'm sure plenty of you do. What I would like to do is get those questions filtered into one place. So number one, it frees up our time as leaders, right? Because if we're spending all day answering questions for product users, we don't have a lot of time to share with new people or to support our team and our builders. And we really start to juggle a lot as we move forward in our business. So having the questions posted on the Facebook page is going to help us streamline that. And then I have a set time, that we're going to be answering those questions with the leaders. The other thing is it helps other people. Because if you have that question, I'm sure some other people might have that question. And so if we can put all the questions in one spot, that will help. And what I'm going to start doing to start getting people away from the habit of just messaging me is if you private message me a question, I'm not going to reply on the messenger. I'm going to take your question and I'm going to post it in the page. And if I have the time to reply in that moment, I will. If not, it's going to be added to the Q&A calls. So this way, everything's being answered at the same time. And we have a system. And those of you who are casually sharing have a space for your questions and to move forward in however you want to share doTERRA. For you guys that want the business side of it, I want to really help you with where you're struggling. And so we're going to have the team calls like we're doing today. Today, there was no requirement. Everyone was invited to just come and learn about how to get started with the business. And this is going to be the call where you sort of make that decision and that determination as to what you really want with doTERRA. Are you a product sharer? Are you going to be a business builder? Whether it's part-time, full-time, however you want to do that, but where you're really carving out the time and doing the pipe activities and getting the training and the preparation that takes. Or no, I'm just going to share casually. I'm just going to, you know, refer people to Marlene or refer people to Rodney or whoever, and I'm just going to do this casually. Perfect. Awesome. You guys will have your Q&A classes, Q&A calls that we'll do on, you know, there, and also on the how to heal. If it's product based, like about oils and questions about that kind of stuff, it's going to be on the How to Heal Naturally with Essential Oils page. And if it's business related, then we'll put it on the leaders page. Okay. So for those of you who are going to be a part of the business calls, we are going to do them as well. And they are going to have action steps required to participate in the calls. So what that means basically is if you are getting mentoring from us and being on the team call, that you have goals that month, right? So you're working towards something, you're whether it's a new rank or solidifying where you are or increasing your unit level, whatever that is for you. And we have rank sheets. So anyone that wants to be on the business call will be filling out their rank sheets, and we can start them at elite. If you're not elite yet, that's the perfect rank to go for. It doesn't require structure. It's wherever you have your volume. It's 3,000, right? So that will be the minimum rank sheet filled out. And if you're already at elite and you're going for premier or silver, you would be filling out those rank sheets and sending them to your direct upline. So if it's Rodney or myself or Natalie, you would send them to them, and then you can participate in. And then also, besides the rank sheets, we're going to be requiring a names list. And what that names list is it can be a number of things. It's just showing that you have your contacts of who you're working on. So maybe that's a names list for new one-on-ones you're going to be scheduling. Or maybe it's a names list for people you're inviting to a class, or people you have to follow up with, people you have to do member overviews with, whatever that is. It's just showing us that you are piping, right? You're doing the pipes activities. And this is going to really streamline and have you guys not feel like you're getting information you're not really needing because you're not building a business and you're just sharing. And for us, it's going to help us really help the people and really be able to pour into people who are ready for this on that level. Okay, so I hope that that's going to be really beneficial for you guys to decide where you're at and what calls you'll be participating in. And for today, it's kind of where you make that decision. And I'm just going to give you, because regardless, even if you're sharing casually, you could still use these scripts to get started. Okay, so we talked about preparing, right? So that means everyone's going to be on Lifelong Vitality. They're going to be using their oils. They're going to decide what they can afford to use themselves, to fall in love with the product. And if you're not there yet, like if you're not in love with the product to where you really see value in getting it every month, just focus on that right now. Don't even worry about sharing, like honestly, because if you're coming against roadblocks and people aren't really listening to you and they're like negative about it and they're walking away, your confidence level probably isn't there because you don't love it yet. Right? Like if you love something, if you see a movie and you fall in love with that movie and you're like, oh my God, you guys got to see this movie. Your passion and your authenticity and where you're coming from is felt energetically by that other person. So if you're not there and you're just focused on like what you got to spend to share and if that's where your focus is, that's probably why you're not getting a good response from people, because they're feeling that. So just focus on falling in love with the oils, you know? And again, it doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money, but get on LRP, try LRP, know what it is to shop with points, right? To have fun doing that. Know how you earn your points, understand the LRP program, and just kind of play around in the preparation mode. And once you're there and you know like what your routine is and you know how many oils you use in a week and a day, what you're doing with the oils, you're making your own green cleaning, you're doing your skincare now, like it's become a lifestyle, you'll see that you're going to organically be sharing that with people, and the response and the energy is going to feel different because people feel what's real and what's not. And that's why prepare is a part of the pipes. It's not there just, you know, because they needed an extra P to make the word. Well, maybe they did too, but it's there because it's such an intricate part of being successful at this. It's the main thing. It's our why, right? It's finding out and discovering and digging into why we love this. Yeah, the money's great. Don't get me wrong. The money's great, but it's not going to keep you doing this through the hardship, through the challenges, through the negative stuff, through when a leg falls apart, through when no one shows up to your class. You know what I mean? Like, what's going to keep us going beyond that is what we love about the company, about their vision, about the oils, about the products, about what they've done for our health. And if you haven't been using enough of them, you're not going to know what that is yourself. So prepare. Invite. We are going to be doing a text blitz. Okay. What that means is because most of the time when we're in communicating with people, and you can totally call and use the script verbally too, but I bet you it's hard to get people on the phone to speak to you as opposed to sending a text message, right? People usually respond to text messages more than they do answering the phone. So texting is a really great way to get people to invite them. And for you guys that are new, you guys who've been around a while, you can do the text blitz for hosting classes, or you can do it for inviting. There's a script that we can use. I'm going to actually share my screen here so I can show you what it looks like. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Am I in the right emails? No. I'm going to show you guys what the script looks like so that you can get an idea. And like I said, you can do it calling them, you can do it texting them. Obviously, if you're calling them, you don't want to be like, "Hi, Mary, this is Marlene." Like make it sound like you're reading if you're on the phone. But once you get familiar with the script or whatever, you can just kind of make it your own, right? But with the texting, it's a lot easier. So I'm going to show you what it looks like. Here's one example of an invitation text. So it says, "Hi, it's Marlene. I know I'm texting totally out of the blue. I wanted to get your thoughts on something. As you may or may not know, I have been inspired to share doTERRA oils because of the amazing things they have brought to my life, and as a part of my learning process," you can't see because you guys pictures all here. "As a part of my learning process and getting started in general, I am trying to set up appointments with people I know so I can get comfortable teaching about them. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, and my part will only take about 30 minutes. Would you be willing to help me out?" So for those of you who are new, right, this would be something probably easy enough for you guys to do, right? And if somebody asked you for that, "Listen, I love these oils. I just want to practice my presentation. Would you sit through it with me?" Most people would be like, "Sure. I don't have to buy anything. I'll do that." And I wish Taina was on this call because she did that. And she didn't do it because she heard me tell people to do this. She did it because she was, oh, she's there. Taina, will you tell your story about this whole thing where you were just trying to practice your presentation? Are you on the phone? Is that why I can't see you?
No, I don't know. Oh, wait. Am I?
Oh, wait. Let me take I guess you have to turn your video on.
Oh, okay.
There you are.
You see me?
So could you tell your story about when you were practicing your presentation with people and how that went for you and how you were surprised at the results?
Oh, yeah. So I had a cousin who, when I first started, I had texted a few people, and she was actually the last person that I had texted because I was under the impression, and shame on me, I was under the impression that I was like, well, she doesn't have any money. She's not into all natural stuff. She's not going to be into this. But, it's my cousin and she's a homemaker. So I'm like, let me just go over to her house. I haven't seen her in a while and just catch up with her. And I say, hey, can I come over and practice with you? So I did that. And then at the ending of the thing, I said, oh, so do you want to get started? And she was like, yeah, sure. And I just set that plane around because I was like, this girl has no money. Lo and behold, her husband makes a lot of money, but I didn't know this. And now she's like my #1 customer until this day. She buys every month. She knows more than me. I think she knows.
And what kit does she enroll with?
She did the Home Essentials kit.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, no, she did the home essentials. She
I
was
thought
gonna
she told
start
me
off with
she
the
did
family.
the natural solutions kit.
No. Oh no, that was someone else that they did
Oh,
the natural
okay.
solutions. But she did no, she was gonna start off with the home essentials, but she didn't have a diffuser, and then she just, you know, because of the whole money thing, she ended up getting the home essentials. Like she switched her
Yeah.
mind a minute later.
But that goes
But I
to
didn't
show,
pressure her.
right?
She
Like
just
you
chose
were
it.
practicing and you enrolled her, and you didn't even intend on enrolling her. Like you legit
No.
thought she was gonna not be able to because you thought she didn't work, she wasn't gonna have the money. You've done that with someone else who enrolled with the natural solutions kit.
Mm-hmm.
And so what this is gonna do, for you guys that are new, is this is going to give you a way to put the word out and be able to get people to listen to the presentation. Okay, so the first step is to do your list. You have to have a list of people that you're going to be texting, right? So you know, maybe you know that they have problems sleeping. Maybe you know that they have allergies or something like that. So this way you can offer this to them in a way that, let me just see, what did I share? In a way that they are able to kind of relate to what you're saying, because they need it, right? That you know what their issues are. So make your list and start texting people. Don't think that because you reached out to 2 people or 3 people and got a no or 2 no's that that's it. Oh, this doesn't work. You have to text 100 people. That's why we have the 100 names list. And everyone has 100 people that they can text or reach out to, right? Because if I look on all your Facebook pages, I guarantee that there's more than 100 people on your Facebook pages, right? So that's the first step. You're going to make your names list. You can use this script, and anyone who wants these scripts, I'm going to have them on the leadership page in the file section, so you can use it. And that's your invitation. And you're just going to put that out there and just see who says, sure, I'll sit through a presentation with you. Cool, I'll do that. And then the next step is going to be doing the presentation, right? Like, okay, now they said yes, now what am I going to do? So I don't know why this is so weird. This isn't working right. Anyway, so what you're going to do at that point is, for the one-on-one, because most of you probably aren't going to be ready to do a class right away, unless you have me close by or Rodney or someone who's been doing this for a while. And if you do, great. We have a script for classes too. So there's a script for classes. There's a script for one-on-ones. There's a script for sampling people. So if you just want to kind of start sampling and getting people to try the oils out, you could do that too. Okay. And then once you get them to meet with you one-on-one, I have the whole script laid out for that too. So for that, wait, why am I in here twice? This is the weirdest thing. Okay, so for that, we have, let me see where that is. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because it's a pretty long script. But here it'll show you script for one-on-one. It shows you supplies you need, the agenda. So you're going to tell the person why they're there today. Like you could legit read this and you have done your presentation. You're going to start with your story. That's where prepare comes in again, right? So you have to have a personal story. You have to have experience using the oils. You have to have passion behind what you're talking about. So you share your story, okay? You get input from them. Ask them what they want to know, what they want to learn about, what their health goals are. You talk a little bit about the company, what's so great about doTERRA, how to use oils, the 3 ways, right? How they use them aromatically, topically. You go over the 10 basic oils. Now with this, you can go over the 10 basic oils, or you can just go over a few, or maybe just the ones you can focus on, even the ones that they talked about. So if you ask them in the input session what your issues are, and they say sleep and I get colds and allergies, you can focus on those. So that way they're not that long, right? So it's up to you. You could go over the 10. I usually don't go over all 10. I just go over the ones that we talk about because of their issues. And then you read this to them. This is the enrollment part. So you share with them the enrollment part of how they enroll. Okay, and then there's some more like kind of like some ideas on how they may respond, how you can respond back, and that sort of thing. So if you want to get started in building, you have your invitation text now. Just use it. And if you're not new to doTERRA and you can't say you're practicing, then we could change the verbiage up a little bit and you could still use the text splits. They're very effective. I still use them. I just booked classes this morning with someone who I have been trying to get into the oils for 5 years. So I used the text. I said, well, whatever, I'm going to send this out. She's on my list. I'm sending it. And she was one of the people that replied. And I was like super surprised about that. So I still use them even as a diamond. So you can use these. You can just switch up the text, the scripts a little bit. Make them your own, you know, give them your own flair, your own personality. So it doesn't seem so obvious that you're, you know, just kind of mass texting people. Don't group text either. Personalize it, put their name in it. Add a little bit about them. Hey, Michelle, I know that you told me that you have really bad insomnia. I would really, really love to share this with you. Just listen to me practice my presentation and I'll focus it on the issues that I know you have because I know I can help you with that. Something like that, right? Just make it your own. For the classes, the same thing. If you're ready to teach, great. If you're not, that's fine. And then you have your script. Use your scripts for the one-on-one. Try these out. If you want to do the text splits together, I believe, well, I mean, I know that December is a little bit crazy, but I'm going to try to do one day a month where we get on a call like this and we're going to be doing text splitsing. So we're just going to be sending them out. I'll do prizes, make it fun, whatever. It could be follow-up. If questions come up and you're like, oh my God, Rodney, what do I say to this person? This is what they're replying. Like, we're there to guide you. Okay. You could totally do this on your own too. Like, you don't have to be on our calls. I will require, if you're coming on our calls though, that you send your names list and you send, you know, depending on, we may do a follow-up call. You send your rank sheet and your names list, because again, I want to get us, those of us who really have this desire to build a business, to really start acquiring the skills and the organization that it takes. And we can't just be flying by the seat of our pants. I think we need to have a plan every month, a goal every month. If you have a goal with no plan, where are we going to get with that, right? So that's going to be, those are the changes coming up for 2019. We're going to do these calls, hopefully every month. The Q&A calls, I'm willing to do them more. It's all according to what activity we have going on the team. And for the text splits, I'll do them once a month as well. If I have people that are going to hop on with me, it could just be, when I'm, you know, doing my follow-ups and you want to see how I follow up with people, how I talk to people, whatever that is. I can have even an hour a month or something where when I'm doing those activities or I'm on the phone with people and you want to see how I talk to people, I can just hop on Zoom and do that too, to kind of give you an idea of what that looks like, right? What a member overview looks like. We'll do a whole nother call on member overviews. It's such an important part of what we do. And we've already been on for almost an hour. So this was more so to focus on giving you those scripts on how to invite people, using your phone properly, getting your names list done, using your script for your one-on-one. So you have all the tools and you don't feel like lost. Now, if you're local to me or you have the person that's willing to hop on a Zoom with us, we can do that too. I've done consults all the time with other people that they're not my, you know, going to be my enrollment. If you're willing to do that and the person's willing to do that, great. But, you know, you don't have to feel stuck because you don't have the verbiage. Use your scripts and print it out and just read it in front of them. It's totally okay. You already told them you were new, right? So they don't expect you to know all this information. And everything that you have is written there. So practice that, because eventually you won't need to read it. You'll know it. But the only way we're going to get there is doing. Everyone who says, oh, Martin, Rodney, I'm never going to teach like you because you know, get up there and you know everything. Well, Rodney didn't always know everything. We don't know everything, but Rodney didn't always look like that teaching a class. He got there because he practiced, right? Natalie, same thing. Super nervous. Taina and Natalie, when I went to New York, they didn't want to teach in front of me. because they were scared of that. Whatever. I don't know what they thought I would say about it, but it's natural. It's normal to feel that way. But the only way we're going to get over it is doing it. That's it. My first class, I legit read a box. Like, I had no clue what oils did. I didn't know anything about oils. I read the box. Lavender is supposed to help you sleep. Lemon supposed to. That's how I did my first class. My first class in doTERRA was the one I taught. I never even attended a class. Okay? And I was diamond in 2 years. So if you want this, we got to do. That's the only way. Get your names list. Use your scripts. You have us to mentor wherever level you are in sharing doTERRA. This is another thing I absolutely love. If you haven't been exposed to the trifolds yet, get your trifolds. Okay, this is my business card. I use this for everything because it why does it keep showing here? Because it has way more information than a business card. Like, it's got the inside is, you could read this and teach a class. It's got how you use oils, why doTERRA, the 10 basic oils in the middle. It's got the kits. In the back, it's exactly how they enroll, word for word, with your email, your Facebook page, everything on here. Why have a business card when this does everything for you? And you can teach a class with it. You can teach a one-on-one with it, along with your script. You could just show them the oils right here. Super easy. You can do them. We have the blank templates on our leadership page in Spanish and in English, so you can get them there. And just if you have trouble making it, like, personalizing it with your info, Rodney does that for a small fee. So you can just send him your information. If you don't know Rodney, post it on the leadership page and I can get it to him. Okay, so I think that's pretty much what I had for this call. I am going to open it up to questions for the last 10 minutes or so. So if you have any questions, I'm going to look in the chat here first and see. I don't see any on the chat. If you have any questions, just unmute yourself, or anything to add or share or thought or anything, clarification on anything I went over. You can unmute yourself and we will hopefully answer. If I don't know the answer, hopefully Rodney's on the call. He can help me.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Theo?
Hi, I'm Theo.
Hi,
Yeah,
Theo.
that's me. Hey, nice to virtually meet you.
Likewise.
So I have a question about, like, people who I have difficulty getting to one of my classes that I market it as a weekly class at my doctor's office. And so I have the space. The thing is that, like, all my friends who want to come, they keep, like, flaking out last minute until the following week, and it's been going on for, like, a few weeks. So what would you recommend in terms of, like, how patient should I be, or should I go a different route?
Mm-hmm. So I'll share some things that have helped me with getting people to classes. Number one is expanding the amount of people you're inviting, right? So if you're inviting the same people and they're not coming, we need to invite new people. And that's where, like, continuously expanding that reach that you have with your list, whether it's other people you know, or asking those people who aren't showing up for referrals. So something I would say would be like, look, I've invited you a few times, you haven't come, so maybe you're just busy, or maybe you're really not into this, which is totally cool. But I really love helping people with oils. So would you happen to have anyone in mind that I could reach out to invite, or maybe share a sample with, right? Sometimes the people that come to my classes, it's not their first touch, right? Before I get them to a class. Normally I meet with them first. I may sample them first. They may already be enrolled by the time they come to a class. But I'm constantly with my group that I have. One of the reasons why our team is so amazing at our enrollments, at getting people enrolled and sharing, is because we share and cultivate that piece very, very effectively. Our team is a really small diamond team. We're a little under 3,000 people, okay? I have teams of blue diamonds and presidential diamonds above me who have 8,000, 10,000, 20,000 people on their team, and they want to know what the heck the Healing Hippies are doing to bring in as many people as they're bringing in, because they're not bringing in that many people with 3 and 4 times the size of the team that we have. The reason for that is that what I've tried to do and what our leaders do on this team is that we cultivate the sharing and the referrals, because it's way easier to get somebody to refer someone to you, like your friends that already kind of you expose them, but they're not really coming to classes yet, but they kind of know they like oils. Maybe you sampled them. You may be able to get them to expand you into their network and bring someone who really is suffering, who may be like, heck yeah, I need to meet Theo. Like, I've been dealing with this chronic pain for I don't know how long, and yeah, I want to go to this class, or I'll meet with Theo and get a sample, right? So that's when you see that you're kind of hitting a brick wall with the same people, utilize them, because they're going to feel even more obligated to help you because they haven't done their part. So when they're not buying or they're not doing it for you, they'll be like, okay. And especially if they're really not interested, they'll be like, but yeah, you know what? Because who doesn't know someone suffering? Like that's part of what makes this a really easy sell for us, is that most people in this country have some sort of chronic issue, whatever that is, right? So those people that you know, they're probably going to know someone that needs this help. The other thing that really works is the incentive piece. The class in the box gives you 10 free oils. I don't really have to use them as much anymore because people come to my classes a lot and I really expand my network. But when I started, I had the same issue you're having. It was so hard to get people to get to a class that I didn't even use my own space. I would get other people to host classes for me, which I still do. And then I'd make them bring their friends and family, because for the life of me, I couldn't get anybody to my spaces. But what I did was I started using the class in the box, because what research shows is that when you offer a little carrot, a little freebie, people show up. They show up, they want that, right? So when you're inviting, you got this class in the box, it comes with 10 free wild oranges, which the cost of the class in the box, it pays for itself just with that, because you get the 10 oils, you get the order forms, you get materials to give out, you get magazines, which makes a cute little like gift with the oil. And so what I would do is it comes with little invitations. And what I would do when I was inviting people was I'd have the invitation and I go, okay, I'm inviting you to my class. You get a free bottle of essential oil if you come, if you bring this with you. Are you going to come? But don't take it if you're not going to come. Like, you have to be 100% sure you're coming, because I only have a limited amount. If you take this, you're taking it from someone else. So please take it only if you're coming. And this number one gives you a better idea of who to expect there. Because if someone's like, oh no, give me that, I want my bottle of free oil, like, you know, they're probably going to show up. And if they're like, oh, I don't think I'm going to take it, okay, then I'm not going to give it to you. Do you know anyone who would want it though? Like, do you know anyone suffering that really, you know what I mean? So you kind of, on the one hand, you're inviting with a little carrot because you have a little incentive. And on the other, you're also working on always constantly expanding that reach into people who really want this and need it. What I see happen with people who have those issues where no one's coming, and I talk to them, and no one came to this class and no one came to that class. I'm like, who are you inviting? And they're inviting the same people. They're inviting people who didn't enroll at the class they did come to. And they keep inviting the same, and which you do that. Like, you know, people don't always enroll at the same class. They enroll later. I enrolled Natalie 2 years after she came to my class. So that happens, but you can't just, invite them. You have to always like get them to invite a friend, or make it a point to meet new people out in the community. Maybe at that doctor's office, he could promote to his patients if he's using the oils or something like that. But the idea is you're constantly expanding your reach. And in the beginning, classes may not be, it's great that you have the space and you can still, even if 1 or 2 people come every so often, great. You're building that community and that consistency. So people are going to know, oh, Theo has that space, that class, that day, every week. And they may not come now, but later, as you continue to build and cultivate your tribe, that's going to be beautiful to have. And then your leaders have a place too. And in the meantime, in the beginning, the one-on-ones, right? Because you can just one-on-one work with people. If there's an interest and they haven't enrolled yet, don't make them wait for a class. I go, okay, so you can't make it to the class. Are you really interested in learning about these oils? Because let's set up a date on your calendar that works for you, to get you enrolled,
Yeah.
to get you going, right? And then still come to the class, because in a one-on-one, they're not getting the full scope of what a class is either. So you get them. So my classes are mostly people. My enrollments mostly come from one-on-ones, because if I meet someone who's interested, I'm not going to make them wait to my next class a week from now. I'm going to get them in. And then once they're in, I'm going to invite them to my future classes so they can expand and broaden their knowledge and understand how to use those oils better, right? So all these people not coming to your classes, get them to that decision of whether they're really interested. And if it's a no, great. Now you know you can stop inviting them to the classes too, because if they say no to meeting with you on their time, for them to go ahead and get started for a one-on-one, then you know they're just not ready. Doesn't mean no forever. It means no for now. You planted the seed, you move on to the next. Maybe ask for a referral and then go from there. Again, I enrolled Natalie 2 years after her first class. Rodney, it took me a time to enroll him, and then it took 2 years for him to build. So we're just planting seeds, and it takes time. Most of the time, statistically speaking, in sales, it takes 5 to 12 times of exposing someone to your information and to your product before they ever make a buying decision. So this is all about building the relationship, building the trust, building that with people. And if they're not coming to your class, I would just ask them, are you really interested? Because if these class times don't work for you, let's meet at the coffee shop when you can. When are you ready to meet with me? And if it's a no, then okay, well, I'm not going to keep inviting the same people. And you can kind of move on. Does that help at all?
Oh, that was great. That was
awesome.
Great. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Let me know how that works for you. Keep in touch with me and message me on how all these one-on-ones get scheduled for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for your question. Anyone else have questions or anything to add or share? Rodney, you've been quiet.
Hey, I've been on mute.
No, everyone's on mute, but do you have anything to add to what I shared today? What's your experience with this kind of situation?
Oh, well, yeah, I think everything you mentioned, rings true to me.
How much is the class in a box?
Okay, Ryan,
Oh,
my brother.
good question.
Class $25.
Yeah. 25, and you get 10 free bottles of oil. Well, basically, if you added up those oils, it would be $35 just for the oils. And you're getting the oils, magazines, order forms. I think there's a DVD in there even to teach the class. So if you really don't even want to, you don't know what the heck to say, you throw the DVD in there and let the DVD teach for you. So it's got everything you need.
Yeah, I gotta get one of those. I gotta get that.
Cool.
Cool, yeah. I don't really have too much to say, really. I just, I would say in terms of what Theo was asking is that, if there are, like Marlene said, if there's a group of people that, consistently they're not coming, just reach out, and see if maybe they want to do a one-on-one consult. That's what I typically do. I'm like, hey, clearly you're not really going to go to a class. This is my third time asking you. And it also depends on the dynamic of your personal relationship. You might want to be more blunt with someone you've known for a long time. And I can be very blunt. So it just depends on how well I know that person. But I say, let's just go for coffee. You want to go for coffee? And then just bring all your oils. And then you can close them at Starbucks. But yeah, that's what you can do.
Yeah. The one that way you just know if they're really interested or not. And if they're not, then fine. Now you can keep, inviting new people. Again, asking for referrals. So even if that person's not interested, well, that's fine. Do you know anyone who would be open to trying this with me? Someone who's tried so many things and they're at the end of their rope and they'd be open to trying this with me, that I could meet with and just give them a sample. And when that person gets on board and starts using them, all of a sudden your friend's going to be like, well, wait a minute, maybe it does work, right? So I always ask people for referrals. If, even if they don't buy or they don't enroll, I ask them for referrals. And that's why we are the team that we are with enrollments, because we have cultivated that mentality of sharing, of just putting it out there, of spreading the message of hope, of getting people to remind others that there are options that work. And it doesn't mean that they're building a business when they do it. They do it out of the kindness of their heart, or because they become oil lovers, because we're really good at getting people to become, oil junkies. So that's a beautiful thing, because people can share casually and keep their full-time job and keep their, their husbands happy and their kids happy and still share oils, as opposed to maybe making it a huge, responsibility like me and Rodney do with what we do with building our business. It's like our full-time job, but it doesn't have to be in order to share casually and get your oils paid for. And it doesn't even have to be to reach leadership ranks, because I don't know if you guys saw the call that I did with Diane. She's a gold in doTERRA. It took her 2.5 years, but she did it with doing 1 class per month and working about 10 hours a week in doTERRA. So you can absolutely fit that into any lifestyle as long as it's consistent. It's not 1 class every 6 months. It's not meeting with someone when it comes up. It's not 1 class and then never doing member overviews with them and following up with people, because the 1 class is that, but it takes preparation, follow-up, all of those things. So you got to count that in as well. But a part-time job, that's about a part-time job, 10 hours a week, right? 10 hours a week to be making $5,000 a month residual income in 2.5 years. Pretty good return on your time, right? As long as it's consistent. That's the key to this. It's just got to be consistent. If you're consistent, whatever that is for you, you will reach leadership. I promise you, you will reach leadership, because people need what we have. Our system is broken. People are sick, suffering, and these oils work. That's why y'all are on the call, because you use them and they work. So, and there really isn't anything that compares to what doTERRA does for people. It's just a matter of being consistent with showing that to people. And when you do that for a time and you really put in those hours, all of a sudden it takes on a life of its own. And that's when you become, the leadership ranks. And all of a sudden you have these teams growing where you're not the only one enrolling. It's exciting as a leader, right, Rodney? When you're like, look at your back office, you're like, oh my God, there's enrollments I didn't do. Other people are doing this too. And we all go through that. I was practically the only person enrolling on my team for like 1.5 years when I first started. And it felt like I was always going to be the only one enrolling. It felt like, I know people need these oils. I can get them to use the oils and love them, but when am I going to get somebody else to want them to do that too? And now we're a team that does so much more of that than teams 2 and 3 and 4 times the size that we are. That's such an incredible, beautiful thing. And I'm super grateful for that with you guys. And I want to keep that, and I want to support those people who are just doing it in that way, in a way that feels comfortable and doable for them. And that's why I'm switching this up in 2019 and creating something for my sharers without the requirements of things that builders do. And then for those of you who really calling yourself builders, then let's get to it and let's build. Let's decide this is what we want, whatever that means. It doesn't mean you got to do it like Marlene and Rodney, who have no lives, and doTERRA is our life and our child and our everything, our husbands. But whatever that is for you, let's do it. You said 10 hours a week. All right, 10 hours a week. Where's your list? What did you do this week with those 10 hours? Let's show. And if you do that, you will be gold. It might not even take you 2.5 years. You may do it sooner, but it's just the consistency. So I hope that helps. I hope you guys are all excited for 2019. I am super excited. I know that this is going to be a super powerful year for us. And I want you guys to keep me accountable to what I've said on this call too, because I get busy and then, the calls get less and less, because if you're not showing me the actions and the things, I'm like, well, I'm still enrolling people. Rodney's doing his thing. I don't really got to talk to him about much. We just share here and there. But you guys really want to stay with the momentum that we have in this season. I mean, what an amazing season it's been, right? October through December, with sharing these oils and getting people excited to use them. We can keep that going throughout the whole year of 2019. It doesn't have to completely die out in the summer. We can do that now with Symphony of Cells. Super excited about that. Super excited about Aroma Touch certifications. Let's make this year the year where so many more people are walking that stage at convention and really not just loving the lifestyle of doTERRA because of what it brings to your life in your health, but loving what it's doing for your pockets and your freedom and being able to live your best lives, because there is no sweeter thing in the world than to be able to make this your life's work. If it's your calling, it is certainly mine. And I love, love, love what I get to do every day. Get up and play with oils and share with people. and know that even if I took a plane today to Europe and spent the whole month there, I'm going to make the same income as if I was here working all month. And that's what we're working for in this. In that when we work with doTERRA, you're building something that's going to work for you later. But it just takes that, right, putting in the work initially. So I hope you guys are inspired to do that for 2019. It's doable for all of us. I just was looking at our upline leaders. There were people enrolling 60 and 50 people a month. We are not saturated. There's plenty of people out there that do not know what oils are, do not know what doTERRA is, that need this in their lives, that are begging for answers and begging for help, whether it's with their health or their finances. People losing their jobs every day. People doing things that they wish they would get fired from because they're so miserable and so unhealthy and stressed out and depressed, and that if this was their life's work, they would have completely different lives. I know someone who told me they have chronic pain and they had to not work because they were doing something else for a few days, and all of a sudden the pain was gone. What does that tell you? Person's miserable at their job, that it literally manifests as chronic pain because what they were doing that week was not fun. It wasn't on vacation. They were actually doing more physical stuff, more stressful stuff than the work is, and they didn't feel the pain. Because our bodies manifest that stress, and we spend 2/3 of our life at work. So if you're not loving what you do for a job, give me and Rodney and the leaders on this call, give us those 10 hours a week for a year and a half. And I promise you, your lives will change forever. Forever. Not just your wellness. If you do not love what you get up and do every day as a job, if you do not love that, give us 10 hours a week for a year and a half. And just do the things that we ask you to do. And you will, in your own way, don't do it my way and Rodney's way, your own way, your own voice, your own methods, but do something. And you will see your lives completely shift in every way possible. Okay, so I love you guys. I am so excited for this year. If you have no other questions, I'll be posting this on the leadership page. And
Marlene.
yes.
Yes.
Hey. Oh my goodness. Oh, she wearing the bib. Oh. That's it. You don't have a question? You just want to show me the bib? Or do you have a question? No? Okay. Okay, cool. Well, I love you guys. I will talk to you soon. We will get the Text Blitz date up. So those of you who want to participate in that, comment when I post this message and get your names list sent out to whoever your builder upline is that's doing the business. And we will get those done on a Text Blitz in the next upcoming weeks. I don't know, we'll probably do it January. So, because I know December, you guys are probably all getting ready for the holidays and everything. So we'll keep it for January. But in the meantime, if you have things going on in December, classes, consults, use the scripts. Use the scripts, get them going. They will work for you. Get your names list done. Send them to me in December if you're ready to. You know, the sooner you're ready, this is a powerful month of sales. Frankincense is free. Like, if you have the time with the holidays and everything else, get to sharing and get to doing the texting and things like that. If you want me to do a date in December, I have the 29th open. Actually, I have the 22nd open also, which is a Saturday. So if you want to hop on, it's up to you guys. If I have a few people willing and wanting to do that, we can do that as well. If not, then I'll put the official date on in January. So just let me know. Okay? Alrighty, I'm gonna go if there's some more questions. Bye, Jason. Have a happy holiday if I don't speak to you soon before then. Bye.